What's up, real ones? It's your host, Rueben. I don't dodge the tough questions, and I'm never afraid to speak the truth. If you're new here, welcome. We celebrate stories, unpack the hard stuff, and talk about the things that actually shape us. So take a breath and lean in. This is Getting Real. Getting Real. Getting Real. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the next episode of Getting Real with Rueben. I'm super excited about today's episode. And as you know, I like to start every episode with just a little tidbit of, my life or how it applies to the world. And it kind of applies to our guest today. And I think that one thing we need to realize or be conscious of, at least, is cancel culture, is, people getting the bravery behind, the keyboard. I think that we all get kind of tied up in what the reality is. And what we also need to realize is that perception is our reality, and what we're perceiving may not be the truth. That goes for, artists, that goes for, public figures, that goes for politicians. I think that we just think that we know people and we really don't. And I think that is also why I was so inspired to start Getting Real, because I felt like there are so many people with platforms that you don't really get to understand things beyond the surface. So just remember that when we're watching things like Love Island and American Idol and Real Housewives and the Kardashians and even our local, public figures, that they are true people and that there's stories behind them, and they have parents and brothers and sisters and kids, and all the things that we deal with, they deal with the same. So that's my tidbit for today, but we'll pause for a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor is the Grand Event Center. They are the tried and true of event centers here in San Antonio. Whether you're doing a wedding, a quinceañera, a bar mitzvah, a dinner, a birthday party, my family has had almost every event we possibly can think of at this event center. They do a phenomenal job when it comes to their DJ, their setup, the decor, the staff. From beginning to end, you are taken care of with an event planner on site. So if you want to book for a quinceañera, a wedding, a birthday party, hell, my surprise party was there. Make sure you contact them using the details down below. The Grand Event Center located off of 410 in Culebra. You don't want to have your party anywhere else. So contact the Grand today. All right, so now we can get started on today's episode. This guest, first off, we've gone to high school together, we've gone to college together, we've lived together recently. We go way back, and I knew that when I started this podcast that she would be one of the people that I bring on. So without further ado, welcome Destiny Navaira.
Yay,
it's so
you.
Weird to introduce you like that.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, I hate her. No, and also we can cuss, we can do whatever we want on this. There's we're not on TV. This isn't like rated R. But it's funny because like when I for those of you listening or watching, you'll probably see like our dynamic is a little bit more comfortable than the other guests that I've had, and that's only because we've known each other for so long. But like we call each other bitch a lot.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a term of endearment.
It's a term of love.
Yeah, of love and hate at the same time. No, okay. So first off, tell if people don't know you, or this is their first time seeing or hearing of you. Which, if you are following me on social media, this is not the first time you've heard of Destiny. But if they're new to the podcast, kind of tell the world what you do, who you are.
Yeah, so my name is Destiny Navaira. I am a singer-songwriter right here from San Antonio, Texas. And I'm just, pursuing music. I do Mexican regional music. I don't like to say Tejano because I feel like these past couple albums been like kind of playing with different genres. So regional Mexican, I think, is the best kind of, I guess, genre.
Like umbrella,
that I'm under. And so, I'm a singer-songwriter here and just really trying to get my music out there, working on kind of like the social media stuff and all of that. But music is my main focus. And also, I'm definitely all about female empowerment, all about, raising awareness of Latino culture and things of that sort that has recently become really, really important to me, as well as weight loss. I am, kind of walking story of that. Health-wise and things of that sort. Diabetes is a big part of what I stand for and things like that. So I kind of have dabbled my toes in everything.
Yeah, she wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, a lot of hats.
Which is why we get along.
And living normal life, right?
Right. Being a normal
life
woman
as well. Yeah.
Okay, so she's being humble, and I think you're being humble and saying a couple things. So like, I want to break down first. Like, let's dig in a little bit about the career, and then we'll go into other things. But I've seen firsthand the work that you've put in for all the albums, with the full length albums, the first two, and then of course the EP, and then your next project. But I think what people don't realize is that you kind of mentioned doing like the social media thing, but then you also have some, like, I would call it like philanthropy or things that you are passionate about, like social issues. All of that kind of is tied under the word artist, right? Would you agree? And so I feel like what a lot of people, I don't feel like you ever have a chance to talk about. It's always like, oh, well, your family, which we'll get to in a second. But we always talk about the family, or we talk about like your new single, but we never get to talk about like the process of like, how did you even get this label, and how are you putting this music out, and where do you record, and who writes your music? Like, let's talk a little bit about that, and like the trials and tribulations behind that, because if anyone's watching and listening and wants to be an artist, those are things I feel like y'all don't really talk about.
Before you start,
like, how did you decide, okay, Destiny is going to be her own artist?
So I feel like that comes, well, I don't know. For me, every decision that I make kind of comes from like a situation or like a frustration that I have. So when I decided to do the first solo album, I was already working with my dad and my brother. We had 2 albums out, and I was mistreated basically by a label as far as, you know, what I was bringing to the table. I was writing the songs, I was recording, we were doing all of the process, and coming to the table and talking about the next project we were going to do as a group, I just was not feeling appreciated, and I kind of had it up to here. And that's kind of what inspired me to be like, all right, well, I'm just going to do my own thing. Like, regardless of whatever the deal is, I'll fight what I have to fight. And
I remember that.
It was a lot. I feel like I said, my decisions come from frustration.
Yeah. But like, but speaking on that, so we said we'll talk about it later, but she comes from a huge lineage of a dynasty, if you will, right? So her dad is Raulito Navaira, who is right out of San Antonio. Her uncle is the late Emilio Navaira. And they were, and still are, huge icons in the Tejano industry, and crossed over to country a bit, her uncle. But all that to say, which again, we'll talk about it later, but to give some backstory as to why it kind of fell into your lap. So that first moment where you were frustrated, is that where Preferida got written? I would imagine, right? That was the first song. That
song. So I had been writing for this third project that we were going to do. And then basically they were like, yeah, your dad needs to be majority of this CD. Or album, right? Not CDs anymore.
You always say
I know,
CD.
It's because I come from the 90s.
She always, like, we'll be doing stuff. She'll be doing interviews, and I'm usually there. Side note, because I do like some of her PR and marketing, and so like she'll be in an interview, and she's like, "Yeah, the next CD," and I'm like,
"I'm sorry, it's an album. It's an album. I'm sorry." So yeah, I had been writing, and then when all of that situation happened with the label, I literally went home that day, and I told my brother, "I'm gonna take a shower. I have this idea. Like, start coming up with this melody, whatever." And that's how Preferida. We wrote Preferida. So, I think it just comes from emotion for me. I'm an emotional, I do everything based off of my emotions. Something that I'm learning to control as well, because it's great because you get that genuine feeling and stuff. But there is kind of a volume you got to set on it. So, but yeah, I think that's how it started. And then I was literally like pinching pennies to do it, and working shifts, and just trying to do everything I could to get that album done. And I had a lot of help. I had a lot of help from friends and people who, you know, believed in what I was doing. So Preferida will always be like one of the beautiful struggles of my life.
It's like a work, it's like a body of love because of all that it took to get there.
And now I listen to it, and there's still some great, like, I have like 4 or 5 songs that I'm like, man, this was good. Like, even for back then, you know, when I was just starting. And then there's some where I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Like, what was I thinking?
What sticks out to me on her first album, there was no background vocals. I think so when she told me that, I was like, oh shit, like there's not, it's just
we were just trying to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot of like basic. And again, this was my first time doing it by myself, not having my dad with me and all of that. So it was a struggle. It was a lot of fun, but
you got it done.
Yeah, I got it done.
And okay, so and also for those listening, her dad wrote some of the biggest songs in Tejano music
and produced
them.
He's
like
producer, all of
what was the other song? It was a big song, the Desperados.
I don't know what it's called, but I call it the cough
one,
song,
right? Okay,
the cough song. Yeah.
But also wrote Como Yere.
He produced people like the Desperados. He did Macizo, of course, my uncle. There's been a lot of, stuff that he's
Yourself.
produced. Myself, yeah, my brother. I mean, he is a great producer, which I'm trying to get him back in the studio.
And a great songwriter. He writes some great jingles, I'll tell you that.
Yes,
but okay, so we had the first album that went through, Preferida. Then the second album, Dime Cómo Se Siente. That one, it was I was pretty much kind of involved in all of them because we've known each other. But I felt like I really saw like the true artistry and the planning behind Dime Cómo Se Siente. That's the one that was Latin Grammy nominated. Now, what was the difference between the first one and the second one? Obviously, more experience, but like, what would be the big takeaways?
I think more experience, but also like I was fortunate enough to have music be my sole focus during that time. And so literally, like, we were in the studio in Houston for a week, and that's all we did. And then we did the other half for 2 weeks in Monterey, and that was like just everyday studio writing music. Like, it was such a focus. I didn't have to worry about anything else because I was about to move there, right? No, I was already living there.
Yeah.
And so
she lived in Mexico for how long?
I lived in Monterrey for 3 years.
Damn.
3 years. And so I think that was the difference, but I feel like the feelings were still the same. We wrote most of the songs during the pandemic, and that was a really difficult time for me because Preferida literally came out the day San Antonio, I'll never forget, shut down March 24th, 2020. My album came out and I was like, now what? I just worked my ass off for this and I can't even go play. Like, I can't even do anything.
We can't promote it.
So then we started writing these other songs that were coming from a place kind of desperation. I feel like man, like I just was so hungry for it. And then literally the world was stopped.
Yep.
So I think that's another difference. I feel like Preferida came from heartbreak, love, heartbreak, but Dime came from heartbreak of literally like a global thing of humanity kind of thing. And so I feel like that's why there's just a little more feeling, again, experience. And then I got to work with amazing producers. Rudy Olivares has been from the first to the second. He was part of it. But also, my producers now, Poncho Herrera, Manuel Herrera. I got to work with huge figures in the Mexican regional market. La Pantera, Aaron Martinez, Adrian Gonzalez. Like, I mean, just people who I've looked up to and listened to their music and are like, wow, I want to be like that. Yeah. So just a lot of things off my bucket list too during that second album.
Yeah. The very first time I went to Mexico to visit her, I think it was for the Vacia video.
Vacia.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that was the first time.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But I was like, oh, my friend is famous here. Like, we would go to like, we went to like these restaurants and like people were like freaking out. I felt like I was with Selena, like R.I.P. But I felt like I was with her because like we were going places and like at one point we walked out. Do you remember? It was at Brunch.
Oh yeah.
We're leaving this brunch place. And like the owner is like running after the car because he wants a photo of Destiny. And I'm like, what the hell? Mind you, we're driving around in this huge van with like her picture on the side of it, like her logo. Like, it was just crazy. Anyway, okay, so to take a pause on the career-ish, let's talk about the accolades, right? Because I think that I'm more of a friend. I'm not more of a friend. I am. So I'm very protective of you. And I want people to know like, she's done bigger things than XYZ, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how many times have you won Female Vocalist of the Year for Tejano?
I've won that twice.
And then prior,
I won New Female and Best New Group.
So total you have 4 or 5. No, you have 5 or 6 now at this point, Tejano Music Awards. Because group, female, group, best new.
No, I have 4.
Best new, best girl, and then 2 female vocalists.
Yeah, so 4.
Okay, so 4.
So 4 in total.
So 4 coming 5 because she will win for music video this next year. I'm just kidding. Okay, so that, and then Latin Grammy. So let's talk about that because I think, fun fact, Destiny and I, if we've been drinking or just having a good time, I think like we've never talked about this actually, but like when we're around a group of like newer people, like somehow the Latin Grammys always come up, but it's almost like a little bit of our flex, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's because I like just reminiscing.
I mean, it's a good flex.
It's a good flex, but I also like reminiscing on it because it takes us back to the moment, like to that, like, oh, it was such a good time. So I'll kind of tee it up and then you can like knock it out. But like, so Destiny was nominated for Best Tejano Album at the Latin Grammys 2022.
22.
So when I remember, I'll never forget, the announcement was going to come out and we're trying to look for it. And then, the way that the announcement works is it comes on like I think it was like a
It's
YouTube
like a
live or something,
it's like a
right?
live.
So it comes on a YouTube live, and we're watching it, and we're watching it, and we're watching it, and then it was like, okay, and that's all the nominees, and we're like, wait, they didn't do all the categories.
Yeah.
So then there we go on. I'm like refreshing. I'm on Call with Destiny. We're refreshing. It finally refreshes. We scroll as fast as we can, and then we see her name. So anyway, we start planning because I think soon thereafter.
We found out in September,
and the Grammys were in
it's
November.
in November. So like,
so
quick.
It was like fast. All that to say is we traveled to Vegas. So fun. Got to experience so many different things.
Yeah.
But the main thing that I want to talk about is two things. The what people don't talk about is the experience if you are not with a huge label, by huge I mean like Sony and RCA and Interscope, all those places. You're kind of fending for yourself.
You're on your own.
And so we had to sit in line. Also, not our fault. Even if we were with a big label, we would have had to, because the company that they used to sell the tickets was like a new company. So we waited in line. How long did we wait in line?
I think, honestly, I'm not even, I think it was like 8 hours.
I want to say it was somewhere between like the 6 and 8
like
hour
we worked
mark.
a 9 to 5.
Waiting in line. So, and like, I was a crazy person because I wanted Destiny to look like amazing. So I was like, oh, you have to be dressed up. We're going to get your tickets. So she was dressed in like heels and like the whole thing. And then we get there and we realize we have to wait. And she was pissed. So anyways, we wait in line. They tell us they don't have tickets. They get tickets. All to say, we finally arrive to the next day and it's time to get ready. And Destiny has all these interviews and we go to the non-televised event. And that is where a lot of the categories are given. So talk to me about, obviously I know, spoiler alert, she didn't win. But what is...
Yeah, I would have brought the Grammy.
Yeah, I would have had it right here in the center. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever asked you this. Like, when you woke up that morning, did you truly feel like you were going to win? Did you think, like, in the back of your mind, not to be negative, but were you like, I probably am not going to win?
I didn't think I was going to win. Now, I felt like, did I feel like I deserved to win?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I was like, my album, I listened to everybody's album and I'm like, yeah, mine's the best, hands down. Like, we're gonna, at least I felt like I deserved to be here.
Yeah.
When I woke up, I feel like it's funny to say, but I felt like the way I felt when it was my quinceañera. like I knew that I was going to be the star that day, you know, at least within my circle of people. And I knew that the people who were nominated with me, they knew too.
Yeah.
Like, they knew because they've known me my whole life, especially like Bobby Pulido. Like, he's known us our whole life. El Plan, like, I met them in Monterrey. They saw me kind of start my album and stuff. Grupo Alamo, they were another one that was nominated. They're made up of a bunch of guys that have known me my whole life. Juan Trevino helped me on my first album. And then Isabel, like, we've kind of been going at the same rate,
time,
right? So like, we all knew, and I knew that they knew, like, Destiny has got something here, whether we won or not.
Yeah.
So I woke up feeling like the quinceañera, right? I haven't got married, so like, I imagine that's how brides feel. But I think that's what I felt. Like, it was my day. I was super nervous. But I think I hate getting dressed. So once I got dressed, then I was like, all right, it's time for me to like live this out.
Yeah.
You know, nervous for sure. But I think I was just more excited that, okay, I did something that I set out to do. I wanted to get nominated. I did it.
Yeah.
Whether I won or not, okay, I was there. Did I want to win? Yes, of course. I was already like running up that stage ready to go. But I think that's what I felt. I was just more like, and I didn't realize it till later, because in the moment you're like,
go,
it's too much.
Yeah.
Couldn't breathe, like with the faja and
oh my God.
You know?
Okay. Also, she was how many pounds lighter? I mean, heavier?
At least, at least 40, 50.
Yeah, 40, 50.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, maybe not obviously, but like in the industry, unfortunately at this point, it's like all glitz and glam and your you know, your makeup and your hair and your body. Oh my gosh. Getting ready was so stressful.
It was a lot.
I mean,
then like we had other people too.
We had outside little instances that we had to do it. It was so much fun. Okay, so and we can maybe touch on it a little bit later, but we were on the red carpet and we met people. You talked to like Karin Leon and Rosalia and Thalia and who else was there?
Luis Fonsi, Raul Alejandro.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people that, you know, are doing and at the level that like I'm striving to be at, you know? So I think that was the most realistic, like what is it called? Like
eye-opening moment.
Yeah, like it was like the dream.
Oh, you could
right here.
see it. Yeah, you
it's
could
right
touch
here,
it.
you know? So, but it was a great experience. I feel like now if we go back, we know at least a little bit of what we're doing. And, you know, it's not going to be as hectic.
Yeah.
I feel like even down to like the clothing and like all the things.
We took it a little too serious.
We took it a little too serious.
Even the gown you wore, like it was beautiful and it was
but
paid
like
ode to your
now,
uncle.
I'm at this other place where I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is what
like
we're doing.
Simplistic, if you will, right? That's what they kind of what you
I
feel?
think less is more at the Grammys that people don't understand that.
Yeah, like
until you do it.
Yeah, because all we've ever experienced was the Tejano Music Awards. And no disrespect, right? But it's not the Latin Grammys, you know?
Exactly.
But okay, yeah. So obviously we went through all that. And then now let's like kind of take a turn, because I think that especially what people don't understand is that, and kind of why I started the podcast today the way I started it was, okay, well, you're a human, like you have feelings. And I think that you've also talked about this a little bit in, you know, publicly, but like not really, because I think that prior to you getting the surgery that you had, you struggled with image and weight, right? That's just always been the thing. I mean, not just for you. I'm talking like just across the board. But when was the moment that you were like, okay, I'm going to do this surgery? Because I think I already know the answer, but if you could tell everyone, what was that catalyst moment where you're like, all right, like enough is enough?
Well, I think the main thing was like that I had already lost 100 pounds naturally.
On your own, yeah.
And so I was down to like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Around there from 2018 to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So then after I had gotten my skin removed, and then I felt good. Like I was like, okay, I'm working out, doing all these things. Life happened. I came back and I feel like I gained probably like 50 pounds back from what I had lost. And I was like, dude, I cannot do this again. And I just felt so limited in like the things that I wanted to do. Yeah. And then, so I had the gastric sleeve done in this past November. So it'll be a year in November. And I worked with a company called Health Sin Fronteras. What they do is they bring people from the States, take them to Mexico. If they want to have weight loss surgery, they need their eyes checked, like literally anything medical. A lot of the times it's cheaper. You don't have to have insurance and, you know, all the things. So I worked with them and they had been pushing me and like, you need to do the surgery. You need to do the surgery. And like, for the longest time, I was just like, no, like it's going to affect like, you know, if I get sick later and I take medicines and blah, 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 like just all the things. So I think I left Mexico in September of 23. And then I went back, I want to say it was July of 24. Yeah. And I saw one of the guys who was in charge of that company. He had it done in March. So that's March, April, May, June. So he was 4 months in. And
night and day.
Unrecognizable. I was like, hello? Like, what happened to you? I don't understand. So when I saw him, I kind of felt like, okay, maybe this is something I should do. And back that March, I got diagnosed with diabetes type 2. And I knew I had it. I just was like, for real now. Yeah. I was taking medicines. I was on metformin. I was on glipizide. Like, and it just was not making me feel good. Like, I just was like, I don't want to be like this. I've seen my dad, my grandmother, everybody struggle in my family with diabetes. And I'm like, I've got to break this chain. So I think that's when I decided, when I was already like done with the diabetes stuff. And then when I saw him, I was like, fuck this, I have to do it. Like, there's no reason that I can't. If he can do it, I can do it. And so I decided right there. And then I had surgery in November.
I think that's a misconception. I think that people think that, I mean, we saw you, right, go from the extreme to this extreme that you're in. But I think the misconception is like, oh, it's because, and now granted, it is because, you're trying to further your career.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
It is part of the you know, the cosmetics of it all. However, the core of it is your health.
Is my health.
And I think it's like, oh yeah, like Destiny's trying to be one of the skinny girls. Destiny's trying to like change her body so she can make it. Yeah, that. Yes. But it's more like health and that, right? Like,
well, it's just, you know, like I said, I've seen the struggle and you know, people know like my dad struggled with it, and it's I've been big my whole life. So like it wasn't something that I'm like, oh man, like I was little and now I want to be little again.
You don't know what it
like,
was like.
I didn't know. Like now I put clothes on, I'm like, I can wear zippers. Like, wow, this is amazing, you know? Or like the other day I bought this little Apple Watch thing and I had to like remove links. I was like, I don't need the extra links. What is this? So
you can sit crossed if you're watching the pod. When she was at the house when we lived together briefly, she was sitting on the couch one day and like she had this smirk on her face and I was like, what is wrong with her? She was like, oh my gosh, this is like what did you call it? A non-scale victory?
Yeah, non-scale.
She's like, this is a non-scale victory. Like I've never been able to sit like this. I was like, and in my head,
me, I used to have to cross my ankles.
It was so. In that moment, I thought it was so silly, but it was cute because I was like, oh, like that's cool. But then I started to think about it. I was like, oh shit. Like,
and I do that now. Like I'll sit on the couch and I'm like, make myself as small as I can. But I don't know. You know, it's been a good journey so far. I've struggled a little bit. The beginning was probably the hardest. Like you saw me with the containers and like the ounces and like measuring and stuff.
And liquids only.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that was hard. But and like I would still it's all in your head. Like it's puro maña. Like you're like, I want to go to Whataburger, and I would go and order. I'd be like, I'll just order the kids meal.
Yeah.
I eat 2 fries and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, get it out of your system. Like I had to get it out. And like now I can pretty much eat whatever, but I know the point where physically I feel and I'm like, I can't do this. Yeah. Like I'm done. Or that's it.
You can't overindulge.
That's
ever
it.
Again.
And like now I don't have the urge to. Like I know, you know, protein is important and certain things that I need to eat. So I try to just focus on that. And it's been a lot easier. And I mean, just rewarding. I'm down, I want to say the last time I checked, 70 pounds.
Which is insane.
In 7 months. So 10 pounds a month. And I'm running. I hadn't run since I was in high school.
Which, oh my gosh, thank God. Because I would tell her, like, when you go to the gym, you need to get on the treadmill. And she'd be like, I'm not going to run. And so obviously, you know, it takes time.
Yeah.
But now I see her running, I'm like,
Yeah, I run. And so, like, I feel like that's made a big difference. And everybody's been really supportive of it. Like, I went to Houston the other week, and my aunt, normally when I go, like, we've got bacon, we got eggs,
tortillas,
we got pancakes, like,
all
the things. And so I walked in expecting that. And she's like, I told your uncle to make you breakfast, but then I was like, no. Like, I don't know what she eats. So like people are like supportive of it, you know? I mean, it's been good. Like I said, I don't regret it. The only regret I wish I would have done it sooner.
Okay.
But I think now I was at the mental space that I was able to do so. So, you know, it's been good. I like I said, I can walk into a store and be like, oh, large, it's gonna fit. I don't have to try it on. Medium, yeah. Sometimes it's mediums, and I'm like, even my freaking shoes, like I have to buy new boots. These boots are too big on me. Yes, AJ shoes. And so like I think I was wearing a 10, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm like an 8.
Which is crazy. Like, people don't talk about that.
Yeah.
They don't talk about your feet shrinking. They don't talk about your wrists, your fingers.
Yeah. So like, there's different things. And like I said, I think I just wish I would have done it sooner, but I think time
it all
pays
happened
for
a reason. Yeah.
Time pays for everything.
Shout out to Health Sin Fronteras. I have seen, and I know that Destiny has partnered with them to do this surgery. But I went to a couple appointments with her when I was visiting her, and I got to see the recovery house, Tsunami Recovery House, that, you know, you go to after your surgery. And like, it's just insane. Like, yeah, to hear it from Destiny, if you want to know her experience, definitely follow her. We'll have all her social media to look at and follow the journey. But take it from someone who like saw it and like is no horse in this race, in the sense of like I wasn't affected by it. That recovery house is like in the middle of Monterrey. Like, you see the mountains. There's someone hand and foot there. They're feeding you. They're giving you your medicine. And like, it was not even a quarter of the cost that it would have costed here. So shout out to them. Okay. Now I want to talk about, because I like to kind of break the episode into segments, right? So like about who you are and your what you do on a daily, how you kind of got here. We've touched a little bit about who you are, but like I still don't think you've ever done an interview where like we really get to the nitty gritty. And so I'd have to ask, like, you know, you come from the south side of San Antonio, you come from a family that has a lot of stature. What are the issues that come with that? And let me rephrase that. What are the hurdles that come with that? Because everyone sees y'all are like the Kardashians of the Tejano world, right? Like the Navairas, it's you, your brother are doing it here. You have your cousins, which Emily's here, but then you have her brothers, Diego and Emilio. They're kind of back and forth from Nashville. But then you have your other cousin, which is Frida. She's like doing modeling and things. Your dad, y'all are all part of this huge thing. But I would imagine it gets difficult, not so much within each other,
Yeah.
but the outside world with expectations and maybe pitting against each other or whatever the case. Like, now that you're older, because it never was an issue back when it was just you and your dad and your brother, but now y'all are all kind of doing your own thing. Do you see a change in that?
You know, I feel like people, it's more like the outside thing, which I think will always be the issue. Like, my cousins do the official Emilio Navaira tribute. And like, I'll see like, you know, comments or like things like that. Like, oh, like, so much better than Raulito's kids, or they don't even, or like against them, they don't even know Spanish like Raulito's kids, or like, you know what I mean? Like things like that. And to me, I mean, I'm used to it by now, like thick skin. But I think, you know, for us internally, like, we're all just following our dream. Yeah. Like, we're all just doing what we want. And like, now the world is so much just like you said, like people behind a keyboard, like, or on the phone, like, you know, oh, I don't, like, we were talking about this. My cousins are performing in Vegas for the convention, and like, Emilio was like, oh yeah, like, can't wait for everybody to comment on our long hair. Like, they hate the long hair. Like, you know, like little things like that. Like, it's funny. I think it's funny. I appreciate opinions and stuff, but really we're following our dreams. I think I always tell people, you know, my uncle and my dad, not just what they did in the Tejano world, but we got to see, especially me, Emilio, and Diego, we got to see them do such big things. Like, I remember vaguely, I was about 3 or 4 years old, but they did a residency at the Mirage. Wow. Like, we had a whole floor at the Mirage for a week because of them. Like, we've seen them play stadiums. They played in Switzerland. Like, I mean, big things. So, like, I feel like we have those expectations. My cousins went on a world tour with Sting. Like, we've seen the big things. And, like, so I feel like that little stuff, it's easier for us to brush it off. Which is why I think too, do you agree with the fact that you guys kind of get the stigma of like, oh, they think they're too good? Sometimes. But I don't think, now that you're saying that, and I've known you for so long, I never thought about this. Like, now I'm realizing, oh, it's because you've seen the big. Yeah. It's not that the little doesn't matter. No. But it's like, oh, well, I'm trying to get back there again. Yeah. And it's steps, you know, you take steps. I mean, the first time I won the Tejano Music Award, I was like, this is amazing. This is the biggest thing I've ever done, you know? And it was. Yeah, it was. For that time. And Tejano music, it's always going to be part of me. I'm never going to not submit my stuff to the awards, because that's who I am. That's part of me. Whether they accept it or not, like, that's on them. Yeah. But, you know, I do have bigger goals. I do have things that, you know, the way right now, to me, like, the best example, and I'm such a hypocrite, I didn't used to like her, but now I love her, Becky G. Like, I feel like Becky G. Well, she's doing what I think you like her. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think you like her. And I didn't know that she was going to do this. Yeah. Because she's truly saying, you know what? I'm going back to where I come from. That, and she's recording whatever she wants to. Okay. And I feel like that's what we did on the second album. Like, I wasn't like, okay, I need 2 cumbias, I need this, I need that. Yeah. Like, she's like, if I like it, I'm going to do it. And so, like, this last album, Encuentros, I feel like I've taken a page out of her book, because she did what she wanted, and it's not like themed. Yeah, it's not a genre. It's not like, oh, well, I'm going to show him that I know Ramon Ayala. Right. Or that I know Selena. Yeah. It's just, you can tell it's a genuine recording and piece of work that she did. So I feel like, you know, that's what I do. I like with this new album we're doing, there's the rancheras, there's the cumbias, there's the normal things that you hear, but then there's also more pop stuff. There's also, like, you put some country twang in certain things. Yeah, there's like the twang. There's you know, the, what is it called? The Sinaloa kind of like feel, that kind of thing. So I mean, I'm just doing what I want, and like that's why I've been blessed too. Like, shout out to Uni Music, my label. Manuel and Poncho Herrera, they let me run. Yeah. And so I've been doing that these past 4 pieces of work, you know? And so I just feel like it's time for that. It's time for people to get out of a formula. Look at Beyonce. I mean, Cowboy Carter broke barriers because she did what she wanted to do. And of course, that's on another level of, you know, funding and all of that. But like, it comes from that core, and like that core and having a purpose for things. I think that's what I strive on, is everything I do it because of, there's a certain reason for it. It's not just like, oh we'll try that. Like, it's for something, or I got inspired by something. And you know that, there's certain albums that stick with me close. Right now I'm on an Ariana Grande kick. Eternal Sunshine for me, I feel like she did the same thing. She did what she wanted to do. The lyrics, I'm a big lyric girl, and all of that matters. So like, artistry wise, it's I feel like back then it used to be more about like, get me on the radio. I need a hit. And it still is. But like, what matters to me now more is that people are going to understand this message that I'm trying to get across, or what I was feeling at the time, or whatever the situation is. I want that to relay, because I feel like that's what gets me when I'm hearing, albums and things like that.
Isn't it strange, or I don't know, maybe it isn't, that we see people like Beyonce, Becky G, Rosalia, Karol G, like these women, Shakira right now, but and maybe I'm wrong, but on a smaller scale, when you drop down to the scale below them, which is where I feel you are, right under them, the females just don't get any. Or let me rephrase that. I don't think that the females don't get any recognition. I just think that we see how easy, quote unquote, it looks on that higher level for women, and I'm like, and I'm just a very women empowerment type of person, because I feel like every time I've gone somewhere with you, anytime I've done anything with you, it's almost like it truly is. You got to work 10 times harder and do it 10 times better.
Why?
Just for people to be like, oh, pat on the back, right? But then you see, when you get to that caliber of the Karol G's, the Becky G's, all the things, right? All the G's. It almost seems like, oh, like they made it, but they didn't, because you see you see these behind the scenes documentaries, things like that. Being a woman in this industry, what is it like? I don't know if you've even cracked the code.
I don't know, because like if you really think about it, like even in the Tejano genre, right?
The biggest ones are women, though.
Yeah,
like look at Selena.
It's Selena, right? Selena is the Tejano
queen,
right here. So like, but even now, like, okay, I would think maybe in Tejano right now, the biggest guy is probably Jesse Turner.
Okay.
But he's already been in the game for years.
Okay.
Like years. But you come out and you're trying to, I guess, like make an impact, right? And you're right. Yeah. Like it took me to go to the Latin Grammys on my second album.
And even then.
My second album, I didn't have many albums before.
Right. No funding. Like this wasn't like we had all this millions of dollars.
No people like in the middle working the ways for anybody to be like, oh yeah, she's the up and coming.
Yeah, that we barely got that. It was like, I say we, right? But like she barely got that in the sense of like, okay, Latin Grammy, oh yeah, up and coming and people to watch. It's like, wait, what? Then what is the caliber of like, oh, you're a badass.
Right. So and that's part of our genre too. Like it's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the thing is with the girls. But I think you just got to keep going and make them listen until they have no choice.
Yeah.
Until they have no choice. But I just I think it's you can't let yourself get distracted. It's always there, and like it's always going to be part of your struggle, but you can't let yourself get distracted from it, because if you do, like you're going to lose yourself in fighting, because I feel like I was in fight mode for Preferida, and after that I let it go, and then Dime came out so much more genuine.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a battle that you have to continuously fight, you know? I think like, I guess the biggest example right now, Mexican regional wise, is Frontera.
Which, by the way, one of their band members saw he left. I didn't understand in Spanish. Did he say he was
let go? Yeah.
So, I tried to like translate it, but
yeah, he was let go.
Interesting. And no one's commented.
No explanation.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean,
we'll see what happens with them. But
what instrument does he play?
I think he was the bass player.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he was the bass player, I want to say.
Okay.
But yeah, like even with them, like, I mean, they've exploded and they've done a very good job of consistently like keeping on.
And carving like some type of road, you know?
But like even them, like, I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's just the style of music, but it's still like at a cap, I feel. I don't know how to explain it.
You mean at a cap in the sense of like the production and the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the creativeness in that sense? Or you're talking about just the sound in general?
I think the level, like to me, with the success that they've
I
had,
get what you're
it
saying.
should be so much more.
Yeah, there should be like they did go on tour and things like that, but we should
like,
be seeing them everywhere, like because
like
of
they
their
should have
songs
tours
were
like Bruno Mars tours.
Correct.
To me,
I see that.
You know what I mean?
I feel that. I mean, because they had songs that were summer songs last year.
They had a song with Bad Bunny.
Yeah. And he is the
right now he's
biggest
the top
caliber.
top guy right now.
Who would you say is the biggest guy and the biggest girl? Because I don't know if you saw Karol G's documentary.
Oh yeah, I saw. I didn't finish it, but I saw.
But like, I would say she in that realm maybe.
I think Karol G is getting there.
Yeah, she's on her way.
But are you talking like Mexican music or regional Spanish? Or are you talking about like just everybody?
Just Latin in general.
Latin. So definitely, I think Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is. I would like to say Cristian Nodal.
I mean, he is, but it's hard because he's still not as mainstream as someone like Bad Bunny.
Yeah, so Bad Bunny, and then I would think maybe Karol G. She's kind of been like the most exploding. I think Becky G's on her way up there. I mean, there's Shakira.
Oh,
Shakira.
Yeah. I feel like she's like iconic at this point.
Yeah,
right?
Shakira. I mean,
she's like the Jennifer Lopez of
J-Lo. I mean, she's more pop, but
always getting canceled. I'm so tired of it. I don't even know why she's canceled half the time.
She does so good.
Yeah,
like it's everyone's awards. Like J-Lo, and then like
then boom.
I don't understand that either. I don't understand.
Okay, so
she is not pobrecita.
No, pobrecita for her, right? Like everyone hates her. Okay, so now let's get to like the fun stuff that like no one really knows behind the scenes, and I'm a little privy to some of it as we start rounding out the episode. So what people don't realize is that Destiny has a lot of faith in a lot of her circle. And I say that because we'll talk about her recent project and then what's coming. At this point when you guys hear this episode, I would imagine the promotion for the new album will be coming soon. But one of her newest songs is Salucita. And what many people don't know is that, so what we do is it's a very collaborative effort in the sense of like Destiny's like, hey, I need an image for this, or we're gonna have a photo shoot and I need, the album cover or the single cover or whatever it is that we're working on. And so we basically sit down either on FaceTime or on the couch and we're like, okay, well, what do you like and what do you want it to look like and whatever. In this particular case, she wasn't able to travel to Monterrey to get the video filmed, which is where she filmed Forever and... Oh, no, just Forever.
Yeah, just Forever.
So she was like, well, why don't you just do it, Ruben? You got that new camera. Mind you.
Yeah, don't be buying new things.
Mind you, guys, I have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is like a great camera, but like it's not a music video camera. But anyway, what y'all don't realize is that we were like, okay, we're going to film a music video. I wasn't like one day to the next, but it was like, okay, we're going to film the video on this day, but we need it edited in like, I don't know, 24 hours or whatever it was.
It was a while.
We have to edit it in 24 hours and then get it up, whatever. So if you guys go watch it, which there will be a link to it on this podcast, but... Guys, first off, shout out to Laura and Eddie. They live like literally minutes away from me. They had a big truck. They have a nice house.
Yeah. We
filmed this video in a matter of like what, 3-4 hours?
Yeah, like 3-4 hours.
I mean, that's not bad, but it actually came out really good. As behind the scenes before we were filming, before you got here, I showed them. Because we were talking about like content and filming and production and things like that. And I was like, well, I'm actually a music video producer.
Ruben also wears
a lot
million
of
hats for me.
But on that note, it's like, okay, I really want to talk about the fun parts because like I don't think people realize like when she's in the studio, you guys, like that's something I was inspired by the other day, which I want to talk off camera about. But remember Diamond Dior, the one that Diabetes is drag? Mm-hmm. Anyways, she did a huge. They sold out on Congress, one of the theaters on Congress, and did a whole like drag show, but like just like a concert, and it was just her.
Oh
and she did like Rihanna, and anyways, they did a behind the scenes video. So I think we owe your fans a behind the scenes because in the studio, you guys, she's very humble. Maybe she'll say it now, but like I've heard her. Now, I will say there are times she can't get certain words right and she has to sing them over and over, and I have proof of it in my phone.
God,
but for the most part, no, in all seriousness, when you sing, I'm like looking through the screen or through the glass, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Dude, like, and I'm not just saying that because she's my friend. Like, when you go into the studio, like, do you feel like scared? Are you nervous ever?
No, not anymore. I think when I first started, because like you hear yourself back and you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But now, I've been in the studio quite a bit now. So like I try to take that to the next level every time. But it's like this is what I do, right? So like it's like you, like you're doing this podcast.
Yeah. This is what I
Like
do.
you started on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now like you have a whole setup. So like you're not nervous. Like you're just
This is my element.
You're elevating your element. So like
Yeah.
now I think about more things like, okay, like I was just in Monterey a couple weeks ago, and I recorded a song that like is not usually my style, and I'm like, okay, man, I have to kind of sing this different, you know? So I go in there and I'm like trying things, and I think now that's the most fun, is like I can change,
Play with it.
play with my voice and like effects and, you know, vocal parts and things like that. So it's more fun now. But it's a process. I mean, I used to just go in there and pretend like I was singing live, and it's like, that's not how you do it in the studio. It's a whole different
And that's something
dynamic.
You told me. I remember taking away. You're like, I gotta leave something for the live shows, because if not, then you have to sing it exactly like if you sing it like you do live, then you're gonna sing it the exact same way live,
and it's a different feel.
They don't get anything from it.
It's a different feel too, and there's so many things you can do to like play with your songs live. But yeah, I feel like the studio has become a safe space for me. It's become my place where I can grow as a singer. Also, I've been singing at a church here in San Antonio every Sunday, and that, you know.
Shout out to Metanoia.
Yes,
I
Metanoia
watch
Church.
every day at 11 a.m. or every Sunday at 11 a.m.
It takes out another element of me as a singer, because I'm singing, you know, first of all, praise and worship, and then second of all, like just different types of music that I normally don't do in my career.
Yeah, you do it in your car or you do it at home, because like it's more like that. I would say like you're a fan of like the belters and the big divas of the world, and in your genre,
that's who I was raised by.
Yeah, like every now and then you get to do like a ballad that leans to that, but like you never get to at a show belt out Whitney Houston. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to touch on that really quickly. Metanoia, when that came about, like I know that you're on a journey, as am I, like with your faith, and not just religion, but like faith and like your core and your relationship with God, and like I know the answer to this probably, but like. What would you recommend to someone, maybe in your shoes, maybe in your industry or not, as far as like, where do you even start? Like, do you just pick a church and go to it?
I don't even think that's the first step. I think you just need to be vulnerable with yourself, and like, it's going to come when it's struggle time, and it's going to come when you're like, I don't know what to do, or just hectic and chaotic. I would just say like, if you don't believe at all, you need to believe that there's something higher, and then you work your way kind of through there. I've always been, you know, I grew up Catholic. I have all my sacraments and all the things. I've always had faith. I've prayed since I was a kid. So it was easier for me to be like, okay, like Jesus. Now I'm like breaking Jesus down and like, okay, this is who he was. This is what he did. This is what he stands for. This is what he meant. This is what he said. Like, this is the reason. This is the impact, you know. But I think if you don't believe like in anything, you know, or any of that, I think that's the first step, is letting yourself be vulnerable and realizing you're in this world as one, like you're a tiny speck in this world, and there's something bigger for you that you're able to rely on. I think that's the first.
You know what I saw,
step.
And I'm not saying this because she's here. She's part of the reason why, or the main reason why I've started to really dig and understand where my faith lies. But, you know, crazy, the other day I saw something and it said, you know, a lot of people treat God like a genie, right? Like you pray to God whenever you want something. Like, or when something's going wrong or whatever. But you should be praying, or when you get to the point, which I'm starting to open up that door and understand this, is you should be praying for God to stand alongside you, to give you, whether it's the clarity, the peace, to make you, just to give you that comfort to understand, like, he's with you and everything is happening by design and by plan, right? And that just, it's so silly. I'm pretty sure if you're watching or listening, you kind of already know that. But for me, that was a light bulb for me where I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not going to pray. I don't need to pray for things to happen for me. I need to pray to just really understand and accept that, like, this is what was my plan, and he made this for me, right?
And like, there's this thing that they say at Metanoia. It's you're not fighting for victory, you're fighting from victory.
Oh, wow.
So like, we already won. Jesus did that fight for us. So like, everything that you have to fight for, you're already in the winner circle. It's not like you're like, I have nothing and I
have
need
to get there. Yeah.
No, like that's the biggest thing for me too. It's like you said, you know, sometimes like it's just not in your plan. Like it's just not in your plan. And he's going to show you that one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been really just like happy about it that I'm able to grow in that way and show like my friends and stuff. Like it's not about, well, you can't do this and you can't do that.
And you have to read the scripture so many times a day.
No. Yeah. It's not about that. Like it's about the core reasoning of what he did.
And like it's also like if you have nothing, like you have to be living for something in the sense of like if you're just walking blindly and you have nothing like to even like lean on, then what the hell? What are you even doing? What are you here for? But yeah, I think that now it just makes sense when you all the successful people in the world. It's easy to be, and this goes for everything we've talked about today. It's easy to be like, oh, of course you're saying that because you're successful. That was my excuse with real estate. Even like there would be people tell me like, oh, I read this book every day, 10 pages of this book, and this and this and this is, and it's like, well, yeah, you're saying that because you
can do it.
You have 20 closings a month, and you're a millionaire at this point, right? But now, as I've educated myself and matured and all the things, I'm like, oh, it makes sense when people say like, you know, God is first. Well, yeah, because like you have to be able to walk with, right, and understand that you're just kind of a vessel, right? So anyways, you just took everyone to church on this episode.
We did.
But okay, well, before we wrap up, because I think I'm gonna look off camera. I don't know if how much time we've been filming. I feel like we've been here forever. But before we end, okay, let's talk about the new project. So it'll be a full-length album.
Full length.
And you filmed how many songs for the new album?
It'll have 10 full tracks. And we've let out 3.
Okay.
Forever, Te Necesito, and Salucita. Those are the first 3. And this new album is not CD album is going to be so it's basically the name I have in my head is Así es el amor.
Okay.
And basically, first half is love, 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 love. I love you. I need you. All the things forever. And then second half is the heartbreak.
Okay.
So it's kind of a concept album. My 3rd full length album, and I had a lot of fun writing it. It was, you know, kind of I pulled some songs from during Dime Cómo Se Siente that we were writing.
That didn't make the album.
Yeah, and then I pulled from like new stuff that we wrote, and so it's been harder because I'm traveling back and forth. I record in Monterrey at Novena Studio. Oh,
hold on, stop, and then we'll. It's because we use YouTube to like hold the.
This is what I show my kids at school. That's hilarious.
Okay, so start from what the name of the album is called.
So this 3rd full-length album will be called, well, the name I have in my head is Así es el amor. The first half is love you, need you, all the things. And then the second half is heartbreak, which is my
your
forte.
Favorite? Yeah.
And so, I'm excited about it. It's kind of my first concept album. Still doing what I want as far as styles and things, but the idea of half love and half heartbreak is kind of what I wanted to go for. It's been a little bit more difficult recording this because I go to Monterrey and record at Novena Studio with Poncho, my producer. And so it's been harder. It's been a longer process. I'm not there. So that's kind of something we're exploring for the upcoming projects. But regardless, you know, it's a piece of my work. Every album for me is, I don't have kids. They're like my kids. Babies, They're my babies. And this one, you know, is no different. It's been a little bit more of a struggle. It started during a really difficult time in my life. And it's ending at a time where I feel like physically I'm better.
You're like liberated.
Yeah.
So I feel that way.
And it's funny because like the first songs are all about like, I'm so happy. Yeah. And I was not happy when that was happening. And now these are like
so sad. Yeah.
And like I don't feel that way. So it's just different.
But that's part of your artistry. Like you just get to tap into a character that that isn't you anymore.
And I say it every interview, you know, if I have an album, it's because either somebody broke up with me or I broke up with them or something happened to me. So this is kind of a product of that. And also, you know, I every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready for a heartbreak. 'Cause
Yeah.
I gotta write some songs. So it's been, it's been a cool process and fun as always, and growing as far as, songwriting and singing and performing and just doing things like that. So I've been really blessed as far as this career goes. I am nowhere where I want to be, obviously, but steps.
Yeah.
It takes steps. Some people have the overnight success and, good,
And
for them. But, for me, that's not my journey. My journey is going to be one where I look back and I'm like, what was I doing on that first part? But I've been really excited and just had a lot of support from, you guys, my family,
everybody.
my friends.
I feel like your close circle, even a little bit of the outer circle.
Even
willing.
artists, right?
Yeah,
that
are
have,
willing to help.
That I've looked up to. It's been just a good thing to be able to reach out to them. I've got a couple duets in the works with some females, which is different for me.
Yeah.
And just staying in contact with the people I met in Monterrey, the people I've met in Mexico and here, and just really using every resource I can to kind of get me to where I want to be closer. Anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited for this third album, and hopefully we'll be returning again to the Latin Grammys when it's time. And now we know what to do.
Exactly what to do. So, okay, before we end, I'm putting Destiny on the spot. So I used to have a YouTube channel called Rueben Rambles, and she was a guest on it one time, and we played this thing called Song Association.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that would be kind of fun to like reminisce, and I definitely want to get that footage and then compare it to this footage, because first off, we look way different. I don't even think I had facial hair.
Look at me.
She was like 100 pounds bigger or whatever. But okay, so we're gonna do it quick, just 3 words, and then you don't have to like sing
all
crazy. Yeah. Okay, so the first word I would like to use, I'll keep it easy. Let's do the word love.
Love, never knew what I was missing, but I knew once we'd start kissing, I found. I can't do that.
Okay, yeah. It's early in the morning here.
Yeah, it's early in the morning, and I need like 2 cranberry vodkas.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Okay, which will take her 5 hours to drink because her stomach's really small. Okay, second song is let's do no, you know what? Let's do baby. The word baby.
And I was like, baby, baby.
Okay, that one doesn't count.
I'm a believer.
I hate that. Okay, let's do the word. How about the word somebody?
Somebody? Oh gosh.
I know, I'm getting good, right?
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to make it hard.
Somebody. Someone.
Okay, just fine.
Someone like you. Or what's that Adele song?
Oh.
Never mind, I'll find somebody like you.
Not somebody. Okay.
Somebody? I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody?
Let's do forever.
Forever with you. Tu solo tu. Go check out my song, Forever.
It's a good song, you guys.
And Rueben is on the background vocals.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So if she wins a Latin Grammy, I will be part of the credits. Okay.
You can get a medal, I think.
Please. Okay, the last I guess the last word I'll use is probably where I know your brain, where everyone's brain's gonna go because she's an icon. Let's do amor. The word amor.
Okay. Oh, I think I could go that route, but I'll do
go a different route.
I'll do adiós, amor, me voy de ti, esta vez para siempre. Cristian Nodal.
Wow, you can sing.
Yes.
Well, okay, so thank you for coming, and then I'll wrap up this last little part is one thing that I do with every guest, and you're probably gonna roll your eyes because I talk about this a lot. At the end of every episode, I ask all my guests to either look at the camera, you can talk to me, you can talk to wherever you want. But I think that we have, especially as Latinos, especially where we come from, we don't see people that are like us anymore. Like, or we didn't see people that were like us when we were younger. So if you could talk to little Destiny and tell her what to expect or, just some words of wisdom, what you know now about your life, what would you tell little Destiny?
I would tell her definitely try not to get so wrapped up in what people think you should be, and really go with your gut, and you already know what you want to do, who you want to be, since you were a kid, since you were little, and don't try to fight that stigma, whether you feel like you're going against the current. Don't try to fight it. Like, you are who you are. You've always known it since you were literally 4 years old. Don't fight it. Just keep following your path and be fearless like you know you are.
Yes. Well, I'm super excited that Destiny was able to come. I'm actually wearing her merch. So if you
Yes.
want this shirt, the link will,
Hoodies,
we have, I'm
sweatshirt.
talking hoodies, I'm talking hats, I'm talking shirts. But she's a 4-time Tejano Music Award winner, a Latin Grammy nominee, a South by Southwest artist. She's done it all. I'm so happy to have had her here. She's one of my best friends in the whole, she's a sister to me at this point. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It was a great conversation. And until next time, we'll see you on the next one.